All right, everyone, welcome back to Central Coast Disc Golf. This is the Innova Open at the 28th Annual Texas State Disc Golf Championship. I am Nate Perkins, and I'm joined today in the booth by fellow native Texan, Holland Handley. How we doing, Holland?
Doing great. Very excited to make my debut in the Central Coast Disc Golf booth.
Oh, that intro song just gets me every time, though. It like sets the stage here, and we are here at a very unique venue for a metropolitan area, Brock Park. What do you think about this place?
Honestly, this is a beautiful property. I get a lot of Florida vibes coming out here. It's just lush, green. You've got some water features. You got a lot of wildlife. Got some snakes. Got some thick grass. Really awesome property.
Well, I'm very thankful to have you in the booth here today. Guys, Holland is the 9th ranked FPO player in the world, and she's going to walk us through this course today. What do we have on hole 1 here?
Yeah, so hole 1, 651-foot par 4 with OB all along the left side. The grass here is pretty sticky, so you really just want to throw a nice distance line, land it in bounds, and then you've got a few trees to contend with guarding the green. Owen throwing her signature Anheuser flex shot, most likely with a destroyer. It's a great position.
Gannon.
I feel the Florida vibes pretty strong out here.
Yeah, definitely the humidity.
It kind of dropped here for the second day.
True, yeah, it was a lot less cloudy today. Rained pretty good the night before, so not quite as humid. And Missy, she leaks that out a little bit left, but the grass is very sticky, so she's fine.
Fajkus.
And here we got Lisa Fajkus with the recent switch to Team Lone Star disc. Clearly doing very well with the new bag.
Yeah, it's nice to see her on the lead card. She's throwing a Glow Tumbleweed here. I'm not too familiar with the Lone Star lineup just yet, but I think we're going to have to get familiar. There's quite a few players that made it onto their team.
Yeah, and I mean, if Lisa keeps making these lead cards, we're gonna learn her lineup really quick as she kind of leaks out to the right side. There's no OB over there, but it will make for a tricky second shot.
And Sai is a player that I haven't had the opportunity to commentate on, and it was a joy to watch the round today. She's throwing Westside Plastic. This was actually an Orbit Felon off the tee.
Wow, so pretty overstable. But that left side's really nice. It actually opens up the gap for her approach into the green a little bit. It's like Lisa just pitching back to the fairway. It's very thick back there, so probably not much of a look.
And we were both kind of surprised to find out that hole 1 is playing as the most difficult hole on the course.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very easy to kind of maybe soft the drive and find that OB left with it being the first shot of the day. And then there are those 3 guardian trees up near the basket. You hit any one of those, and you're probably not looking at a putt. As we see, Lisa goes the backhand line and lands just a bit short of those trees. Owen's in a great spot here. She can take the backhand line, which is a little bit smaller gap, or if she wants to challenge that OB cart path, there is a sidearm line on the left side.
And you've had the chance to play quite a few rounds with Owen, and you actually were talking to me, telling me that this course actually sets up great for her style of play. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, so if any of you have ever played in Southern California, you know it's a lot of what I would call park golf. So a lot of trees in the ways, but not a lot of tight lines, and that I've seen Owen shred so many tournaments out there, so many 1,000 rated rounds shot. Because out here you don't need a ton of distance, you just need to get your basics right. Hit the fairway, hit your up shots, and make your putts, and that's what Scoggins is best at. This is a great second shot from Missy. Not quite enough to get her a putt, but she's in a great position to pitch up for par. See Sai kind of flirting with that OB cart path, but she checks up. Good stick from Lisa. She'll have a little bit of a tester to start her day.
And have you had the chance to play with Sai?
I haven't actually gotten to play with Sai. I believe this is her first full year on tour. She moved over to West Side from Latitude 64, so she should be throwing a lot of the same plastic, but hopefully getting a little bit more of the support and recognition she needs. And yeah, I mean, she's so far had a great start, finding herself on the lead card, in the lead. Or I guess not quite in the lead. She's 2 off of the lead.
Yeah, I had the chance to chat with her just a bit today. She turned pro in 2016. I was surprised to find out that she's 27 years old, and she's played quite a few tournaments on the Disc Golf Pro Tour over the years, but this is her first full year on the tour, and her father was actually out here with her walking on the course today.
Oh, that's nice.
Pretty cool to see the support.
Yeah, because she's from Washington?
Yeah, Spokane, Washington.
Okay. Yeah, I believe I remember at the Fort at Worlds a couple years ago, she shot the hot round, I think, round 1.
Oh, wow.
And was pretty stoked about that. That was the first time I'd heard of her.
Yeah, hot round at Worlds.
That's,
Definitely won't forget that.
Definitely not.
And as these ladies tap out, Holland, you were the only birdie of the day here on hole 1.
Yeah, kind of crazy. I thought I kind of expected a few more birdies out here, but I really think that approach shot shapes better for the forehand.
Yeah, I actually got to watch your forehand from right behind your line, and you threw it over the trash can under the Spanish moss and hyzered into the green. It was beautiful. All right, hole 2, par 3. The own ace hole.
The own ace hole.
264. And can you go ahead and tell us the story from your perspective of Own's ace in round 1?
Yeah, so I was actually over on hole 15, which is just off to the right side of where the drone is flying. And I had just thrown my approach shot, and before the disc had even hit the ground, I hear chains and then the crowd going wild, and we see Owen running up there chasing it down. And I had to say thank you for not razzing my shot, for waiting a split second before throwing the disc. And she comes up a little short today, but she should have a circle's edge putt from there.
And that was that same destroyer from Own, and this is a Z-Swirl Undertaker from Missy.
It's a nice kick off of that tree.
And what are your thoughts on Sai's kind of short run up? I mean, she only uses like the front third of the tee pad, but she seems to generate quite a bit of power.
I mean, I'm in favor in general of a more compact and simplified run up, just because sometimes you have, weird footing, or maybe you have to shorten your run up because you have something behind you. So if you're able to do that all the time and just be used to it, you have to make fewer adjustments. So I say if it works, go for it.
Yeah, thank you. Someone claps for my upshot.
I feel that too sometimes.
Yeah.
Where someone will do a big putt or something right before you go, and maybe you were parked for birdie, but they get all the claps.
Yeah.
And you don't get the claps.
Yes.
If you're ever at one of these events, we do appreciate the cheers and the claps, even though it may feel like you need to be quiet.
Right. It's hard to know as the fan, like when to clap and when to not.
Yeah. That was a great birdie putt by Lisa. Good bounce back after bogeying on the first hole. And same Missy makes good on her about 15-footer. Owen giving that basket a little extra love for giving her the ace the day before.
And that woman has made some putts over her career.
Yeah, she's got a deadly spin putt. Just a little bit nose up, uses the wind to float it into the chains. Hole 3, we've got a 315-foot par 3. We've got OB all along the right and left sides, and OB about circles edge behind the basket. So you want to throw something really straight and make sure it checks up before you find that OB long.
This hole seems to kind of set the theme of the course with these, low ceiling straight shots with, no super tight gaps, but a few trees to contend with. And of course, OB left and right as it tapers around the green. And Missy kind of just gets that one up in the air. Maybe threw a little too stable off the tee.
Yeah, that looked like maybe her more stable thrasher. But yeah, like you said, you really got to keep the disc low, not only for the low ceilings, but if a little bit of a breeze can kind of get under the disc, it can push you out to that OB like we saw from Missy. And I mean, Lisa executing it perfectly, leaving it just short of the pin in a very makeable range, but never going in any danger of going out of bounds.
Yeah, I got to say, I really love that Lisa follow through right there. That's just classic.
Classic Lisa. Ooh, Owen gets a little action off of that tree, but she stays safe.
We're going to be seeing quite a lot of that yellow destroyer.
Yeah, she's got that yellow destroyer. She throws a lot of yellow discs, actually.
Owen does?
Yeah, she's got like a yellow Colossus, I think.
Okay.
A great shot from Sai. She'll be in the circle. Good bid from Owen, just a little high. This is Missy to save par after going OB.
Oof.
Nice putt from Sai. I've noticed she's got kind of almost a similar style to Owen, where she's got kind of that really direct wobble putt.
Do you know how to make it wobble?
The way I make it wobble is to release it the way I didn't mean to.
Okay, yeah, like a mistake. Yeah,
So I don't know how to
been
do
able
it.
Figure it out.
I don't know how to do it on purpose and make it work the way those two do, but hey, good on them.
Back-to-back birdies for Lisa.
Yeah, a little fist bump from Owen. I know the two of them are good friends and good practice partners. Then Missy tapping in a bogey. It's interesting how she has kind of that wrist kind of opening up. It almost reminds me of like an Isaac Robinson style.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's a little bit
Good
more
call.
elbow and wrist. Let's see, take a look at our leaderboard after 3 holes. We've got Owen even on the round, holding on to her lead at 8 down with Sai and Lisa and Jessica Weiss all right behind her.
This looks perfect. Off the basket. Now it's rolling. It's headed for the OB. This needs to sit. Oh my goodness. It's safe. Right on the line. She's going to have about a 30-foot putt for the win. Okay, here we go. The putt is up. Boom, it's in. Strong side with authority. What an incredible moment. Yes.
The Savant is a little less overstable Thunderbird. So if you don't have quite the power to throw a Thunderbird, you can throw the Savant and you can throw it farther.
Hole 4, par 4, 588 feet with OB on the left and right side. Again, you just want to throw something far enough. You don't need to get a ton of distance on this hole. It's only 588 feet. Really, you want to get about even with these trees here on the right side. Make sure you're out in the open so that you have good footing and an open line into the green. The ground can get a little more hard packed around that basket, so you really want to make sure you're controlling your angles.
Yeah, a little drier out here for the second round. skips were just a little bit more significant, I felt.
Yes, yeah. It surprised me in a few spots today. In general, when there's shade, it might skip, but if not, it's probably going to grab. So we see Lisa putting a nice hyzer out into the middle of the fairway. That's a great position.
Yeah, so that's a curl from Lone Star Disc. I mean, just 2 steps right there, Holland.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. Ton of speed on that drive.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you need to do right there. A nice, easy hyzer.
That's a long bowman.
A long bowman. So that's an overstable 9-speed driver. And Owen looks like she's going back to that yellow destroyer.
And Missy throwing another thrasher. There might not be another player who throws the same disc as much as
Yes, I
Missy
make fun
Gannon.
of her for it all the time. She's
Yeah, do
got
you?
6 thrashers. If she ever throws a bad shot with it, which she doesn't that often, but when she does, I'll tell her that was a trasher.
No, the trasher. I haven't heard that. I can't wait to say that to her
Oh,
tomorrow.
Please do.
Yeah, Missy Gannon turns 35 years old this coming Wednesday.
That's crazy to me. I can't. Yeah, disc golf ages people differently, I swear.
Yeah.
The side going the high hyzer, just a little skip.
So what do you mean it ages people differently? Can you
I-
expand on that?
I think, well, one, you're more active, and I think that's the thing that keeps you young. But just disc golfers, we're out here doing what we love. And I think, doing what you love and being outside and being in the outdoors, I think it keeps you young. I
Cool.
really do. I
Cool.
can never tell what age anyone is.
I love that, Holland. It's great.
I mean, look, we got Owen out here who's, 41, 42, and I mean, she plays 2-3 practice rounds a day easily.
And she parties in the evenings.
And she parties
Yeah.
every night.
she's an inspiration.
She's an animal. I love it.
And I've said this a few times this week.
Oh,
way
man.
closer than I thought.
Wow. Missy trying to ring one up from deep.
But I don't know if you know this, but Owen still sends money back to her family
She
in
does.
Laos.
I did know that.
Like, just incredible stuff.
Sigh.
Oh.
Cashing it from the edge of circle. That's 2 in a row from circle's edge for Sai. Getting a fist bump from Owen.
Yeah, Owen seems to be just a joy to play with from the outside perspective.
Absolutely. If I was putting a dream card together, I think Owen would be on it. And I've played with Owen a lot of times. Still would put her on the dream card for sure.
That's really cool. Some players just seem to get excited about good shots regardless of who throws them. I mean, she kind of reminds me of like a Matty O or like a Kevin Jones in the MPO field, just getting hyped on her competitors' throws. Oh.
Hey, the star frame, so they're shaking the chains. I love that. Let's get another look at that side putt.
I see the Isaac Robinson. I totally see
the
it.
little elbow and wrist kind of flick.
That's when you know you're committing to your putt.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you think about this curveball of a hole here on the 5th?
This is such a strange hole. So it's a par 3, 198 feet. The drone's flying up this very tight center gap. There's also a wide hyzer line, but that line almost feels more like a scramble shot with how short this hole actually plays. It's interesting. It's not like what you would normally see on the tour. Lisa going that wide hyzer gap, trying to get the skip, and she does. It's tricky to get the skip over there. It was a lot easier in round 1 to do that play because we actually had a right to left wind, and if you got the edge of the disc exposed, it would kind of sail over there, and Sai pured that gap. Wow.
So that was a Brazos from Lisa and a BT harp from Sai.
That was a harp? That was the straightest flying harp I've ever seen.
And Owen is going destroyer, and she is just kind of playing slot machines over there on that
Wow.
left side, and she actually parked it during round one. She doesn't find the gap.
Really? I didn't even look for a gap over there.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else is going that way. And Missy finds a gap.
Yeah, that's what I noticed today, because everyone on my card went up that center gap, and I hadn't seen that yet. It's like, if you find a gap, you have a putt. If you don't, you have an easy 3.
Overall, I kind of want to get your take on a course like this. I mean, this course is actually shorter than the Waco course, which is one of the shortest Elite Series events that we play. Do you like a course that is more scoreable for the average FPO player?
In general, I do like when we're able to score on every hole. I would say my one critique for this course is I feel a lot of the par 4s feel kind of repetitive. You're kind of throwing the same shot. It feels like on probably about a third of the holes. And we're kind of missing that really difficult gauntlet of holes at the end where you have the potential for big stroke swings. That's really, I think, what separates it from maybe an elite event course. But I think this property has a ton of potential.
Oh, cool. Thank you for sharing as we get another beautiful Central Coast slow-mo of Missy Gannon throwing that fierce and getting a little love there through the left side of those
Hey,
trees.
you take it where you can get it. And here we have hole 6, 597-foot par 4. Again, we've got OB lining the left and right side of the fairway. Really, you just want to throw something far enough to get a look into the green. Personally, I think the left side here is where the drone is flying is the better side, as you have less of a low ceiling to contend with. The right side, there's plenty of lines as well, but again, you've got that low ceiling. As we get closer to the green, we've got a little bit of a faster ground, so again, you want to make sure you're controlling your skip.
I just can't get enough of that Spanish moss hanging down from the trees.
It's thick.
Yeah.
I hit that a few times, and I
it
was surprised. It'll smack you right out of the air. And Sai going this backhand flex line, so she's probably gonna be trying to challenge that low ceiling on her approach shot. We got the volunteer hustling.
Oh, this guy was working hard.
They were
the whole
all
round.
working hard.
They
were
stoked.
sprinting to go tell us if our disc was in and out. Yeah, huge thank you to everyone who volunteered at this event. You guys are amazing. As you see Missy going for the hyzer. She finds that OB.
Yeah, it's that same miss that we saw her make on hole 3, just hyzering out a little early. That was the Z Force, which I don't see her throw too much.
Yeah, she doesn't go to the force that often. I guess maybe she was expecting a little more of a headwind than what she actually got. You see Lisa going for that same right side gap that Sai went. That should be a fine spot. She might have some of those larger trees in her way. And then Owen looks like she's going for the...
Ooh.
She's going for that left side gap, but she checks up before the out of bounds.
Yeah, that destroyer checks up, and that was a curl from Lisa, and this is another curl.
That looked a little low out of her hands, but she made forward progress.
So this is a ballista for Sai.
Okay, she's going this wide hyzer gap.
Tons of trust out over the OB.
Yeah, she finds her way back in bounds. Looks like she'll be deep circle 2, maybe circle 2's edge. We've got Justin Scoggins on the cart for Own.
Yeah, good to see him back on the bag today. He had to work during Friday's opening round and unfortunately missed the ace, but he said thankfully he got to watch her run it in live on the Disc Golf Network.
You see Owen going the backhand line. Oh, that was going to catch another probably 30 feet of skip if it hadn't tickled those leaves right there.
It's a pretty tricky spot. Without a haul in forehand here, it's It's really hard to get up and down, isn't it?
It is. There's a really nice forehand skip line, but that's not really Missy's play. She's gonna go up the middle. This looks high, but it's fine. And yeah, that's kind of why I like that left side better. Is even if you do decide to go that backhand route, the ceiling's a little bit higher on that side. You see Lisa going to the forehand. Beautiful shot.
Oh, nice touch there with the skip. That's probably that chupacabra. That's like Lone Star's kind of firebird. Okay. It was actually the Brazos.
The Brazos.
Yeah.
Okay. Owen giving that a bid. Oh, that height looks good. Wow. Does she miss ever?
4 in a row, Holland. Look at the smile there.
I mean, 4 in a row, and those were not give me putts at all. From deep circle 1 and deep circle 2. There's Missy Gannon following that up.
Not to be big putted.
No, you don't big putt Missy. I've learned you also don't trash talk Missy before she putts because she will make it.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's the one way to guarantee she makes it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Big money Missy.
Big money Missy.
I was like fluttering all adorably while you were putting. Love that. Love that. Okay, great putt. They come out because it's the good weather. It's hot, so they come out. Yesterday it was raining. Yeah, exactly.
I think Sai's got a monopoly on these slow-mo putts. She's just cashing them.
Her stock is certainly going up after this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. All right, after 6 holes, Sai Ananda is your new leader, sitting at 10 under for the event. Owen and Missy tied at 9 with Lisa at 8. Moving on to hole number 7, a par 4, 573 feet. Again, we've got OB lining the left side and right side of the fairway as well as deep. Although we've got a pretty large tunnel shot here. You can actually kind of open up and throw more of a distance line. Shapes really well for it. Most ladies are going to be trying to get to these 2 trees we're flying through and then have a good 250 left to the pin.
Another one of these sub 600 foot par 4s, and I totally resonate your thoughts on the redundancy here just a bit. I mean, I do like the track, and I certainly like the setting of Brock Park, and I think it's really entertaining to watch live in person and to watch here and to commentate this coverage. But yeah, as far as the thrower is concerned, I do see that redundancy just a bit.
Yeah, I would love to see the designers kind of require a little bit more variability, or require a little bit wider range of shots, force a little more shot shaping, because here, you can really break the course down into kind of whatever you want, which is great for scoring, but really we want to test the full gauntlet of player skills. We see Lisa filter out to that left side. And this is low out of the hand for Own. She didn't quite get the distance she was looking for. Might be able to get up and down from there.
Oh, it's getting back on edge. Yes, it is.
What a great line from Own.
Anheuser Skip Master.
Yep, she loves to force over those overstable destroyers. Backhand, forehand, you name it. Lisa kind of tickling that Spanish moss, leaves her short. Oh, Missy's got kind of a tricky little patent pending stance here.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. Oh, not able to get any lower body into that shot there. So Sai went and forced her off the tee, and she's going barred into the green here.
Barred. Now, that's not a disc I see in too many Trilogy players' bags.
Yeah.
They don't make it
I'm
that
not
often.
very familiar with it, actually. Just like a slow, stable mid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slightly overstable. Ooh, Missy doesn't like that one. She left it a little high, but she'll still have a putt to save her par.
Nose up toss right there. Little
I-
Greg Barsby style.
I love that. Lisa's so good at that shot, just putting the nose up on a little bit of Anheuser and kind of throwing it in. But if she does miss, she lands 5 feet from the basket at most.
Yeah, I've seen Lisa throw that shot for years, and you know, Bradley Williams was one of the first players to teach me that you can actually control the distance with the nose angle because it'll help you just slow the disc down.
Oh, just low for Missy.
Oh, and I was even distracted sitting here in the booth, like with the spectators in the back walking, and
Yeah.
there's a little bit of that here on this course, wouldn't you say, with like the fairways kind of butting up next to each other?
Yes, there's multiple fairways that are right along each other, and so that was probably the crowd following the chase card. But if I know Missy, she didn't see him at all. She's so focused when she's on the putting green.
Yeah, I sometimes wonder how many people in Lao know that there is one of the best disc golfers in the world is here in the United States from
I
their
don't
home
know.
country. Like, I wonder if
I've
they
heard
even know.
Owen say that she wants to build a course out there,
Yeah.
which would be awesome.
We should just like help her make that happen.
Yeah.
We should rally some of the resources
Absolutely.
from the community and help Owen Scoggins bring disc golf to Southeast Asia.
I love
Because
that.
it's starting to grow over there.
Yeah, I mean, there's already a pretty big scene in Thailand.
Yeah, I've been a few
You've
times.
been?
I've been a few times.
Yeah.
Yep. It was my first international trip. Actually, it kind of changed my life, to be honest. And it's just amazing that Owen is across the planet and she is making a healthy living playing disc.
Yeah, wild. Oh, that was a great shot from Sai. Yeah, this is a par 4, 561 with a Mando tree that's about 315 feet off the tee. Although I will say you need about 340 to 350 if you really want to get around the corner. So most ladies will be trying to get just in front of the trees so they have an easy gap hit into the green. And I love this play from Owen, going force over out of the hand, making sure she gets the distance before she hooks up and never bringing that Mando tree or the OB left side into play.
Yeah, for me as the spectator, it feels like the most tense drive of the round, just because of that looming Mando tree. Because if you don't get the distance, you still have to beat it, and if you hyzer too early, you're going to be...
I think it was put in a really good spot because for most of the women, if you just throw your stock hyzer shot, you're going to miss that Mando.
Okay.
So one of my critiques of the course was in general, it doesn't really force you to shape a shot, but this one actually does. It forces you to get the disc turning if you want to get aggressive and go for the corner.
Oh, so this was a really tricky lie for Missy. She was actually looking at that center gap for a bit. Her and Tom chatted about it, and she ends up going with the Mantis turnover and really high level shot there.
Yeah, she didn't love it out of her hand, but looks like she gave herself a putt for the birdie. And not getting a skip that she was looking for. It's some pretty grabby grass up there. Not a whole lot of shade to prevent the grass from growing. I like the height Sai put on this.
Oh, that is nasty. Wow. I mean, just all upper body there. Audible snap. And
She's feeling it today,
Wow.
man. She's in the zone.
what was that? That was a tournament warship.
Okay, so a really glidey, kind of fast mid-range.
Man, what a shot.
Oh, Scoggins.
Bang.
There she
48
is.
footer.
That's what I call an own tap in right there. She's so good at those. She's probably easily the best putter in FPO. Although I would put this woman up for.
Yeah,
she's in that conversation too, for sure.
It's one of those things where it's hard to compare. I feel like it's just who's on that day, because we've seen both competitors play at the top level with their putt carrying them forward. So Missy and
absolutely. Own just full commitment. Absolutely no fear when she's putting. And
notice how Own, during that slow-mo, her hand is extending directly toward the center of the basket, contrary to Sai, who you noted had that kind of open hand follow-through that was well right of the basket, but the putter is still finding the heart of the chain. So
yeah, just goes to show there's a lot of correct ways to putt. The key is to just practice and have it dialed. So here we have hole 9, 291 foot par 3. There's a straight gap through a couple of trees if you want to take the backhand line. There's also a sidearm if you want to throw it right at that kind of shorter shrubby tree on the left side. And there is OB right side and long. It kind of angles toward the basket.
Oh, she is just really fun to watch right now.
That's such a high level shot. I didn't think that had the height at first, but there she is in the circle.
And the way that she just shapes that shot with the body English, I mean, you can really tell that she has been throwing the disc for a long time now.
And Own goes with that overstable flex forehand shot. Beautifully executed.
Yeah, so that was Destroyer from Own, and that was an Orbit Grace from Sai, and pretty cool to be beating a competitor whose disc you're throwing, huh? It's pretty cool, right? I mean, she's got to feel good about that.
She's flexing on it, yeah, for sure. Lisa going for that center gap as well. This looks great if it's got the push. And yeah, she's inside circle 1. Okay, Missy's a lot shorter than I thought she was, giving it a long bid. Oh, that grabbed a lot of chains. Sai makes good on that. She gives a little bow.
Six down on the front 9.
That's so good.
Just one off Maria's 7 under through 9 in the opening round. Yeah, just casual, like 12, 14 footer right there. I feel like there are some players, including myself sometimes, that is kind of stressing over that 14 footer, and Own literally is tapping those in.
Yeah, Own never stresses over putts, I feel like. I'm the opposite of that.
You'll stress over those?
Oh, not stress. I have to take my time if I'm going to make a putt.
Yeah.
And Own, she can take a stack of 10 putters and jam them all from 50 feet like it's nothing. It's crazy. Get a little another slow-mo of that Own Scoggins putt. And that does it for our front 9. So we've got a new leader, Ananda, sitting at 12 under, with Own Scoggins right behind her at 11. Missy and Lisa, solid front 9s, but they've got a little work to do if they want to catch the leaders. So we'll take a look at our top 10. Like I said, Sai in the lead at 12, Own at 11. Looks like we've got Jessica Weiss sneaking up from the chase card, and then myself and Kristen right there at 7 down.
All right, well, it was a treat to have you in the booth, Holland. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you soon for the back 9.